Did you know that in a medical malpractice case here in New York, when the case goes to trial, the jury is not asked to determine whether the doctor is guilty or innocent of committing medical malpractice? Did you know that? You want to know more? Come join me for a moment as I explain exactly what I mean. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. You might think from reading the newspaper or watching the news that in a medical malpractice case here in New York, that when a jury goes to decide whether or not you're entitled to a verdict, that they actually determine whether the doctor is guilty of committing malpractice. And if so, how much money do we give to the injured patient? Well, actually, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. These are civil lawsuits where an injured patient is now trying to show that they are more likely right than wrong, that what they are claiming is true. An injured patient only has to show that they are slightly more likely right than wrong, that the doctor violated the basic standards of medical care. And an injured patient only has to show that that wrongdoing was a cause of their injury. And if the jury determines that in fact the doctor did violate the standard of care, and now that violation, that carelessness, was a cause of their injury, now the jury is actually obligated to compensate the injured patient for all of the harms, all of the losses, and all of the suffering that they endured as a result of this doctor's carelessness. There is no finding of guilt or innocence. That only takes place in a criminal case, where someone is accused by a prosecutor of committing various crimes. Now, medical malpractice, although you may believe that a doctor who does something wrong to you may be a criminal, however, we use that in a different way. From a legal standpoint, it does not rise to the level of criminal activity. In fact, that is negligence, medical negligence, which is nothing more than medical carelessness, the carelessness of a medical professional. And now a jury at trial has to determine whether you, the injured patient, are more likely right than wrong, that the doctor in fact was careless on a particular day at a particular time. And if so, did that carelessness, was it a cause of, doesn't have to be the cause, it only has to be a cause of your injury. And if the answer is yes, now they are obligated to evaluate the damages that you're claiming and to put a number, to put a value on each of those elements of damages that you are claiming. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these medical malpractice cases here in New York. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need answers, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.